Hello and welcome everyone on Portfolio Hungary media platforms. I'm Gergely Csiky, the managing editor of Portfolio Hungary. And today we have a really special topic, investments opportunities in Central and Eastern Europe. And for this topic we have a really special guest here, Donald Trump Jr. Welcome, Mr. Trump.
Good to be here. How are you?
Thanks, fine. Thanks for having us. First of all, I would like to ask about Central and Eastern Europe, because we noticed that in the last couple of months, it isn't the first time you are here in this region. What brings you back now, and what kind of capacity and role do you speak in front of these people in this business event?
Well, I'm just here as a business guy, but as someone who understands how the world works. I've watched the disparity between Eastern and Western Europe. I grew up in Eastern Europe. My mom was Czech. I speak the language fluently. I understand the work ethic, the culture, and I really think, honestly, watching the rest of, especially Western Europe, it's really the last bastion of hope for Europe. I think that, the people are incredible. So much of the technology is there that people are willing to work. It's just very different than so much of the rest of the world. So I'm hoping to be able to talk to people, to be able to create a lot of that net investment from the private sector between America, Hungary, other parts of Eastern Europe, and I think it's a great opportunity for the world.
Will you be engaging specific business negotiations today or these days?
I mean, I'm always looking. You never know if there's going to be a Trump real estate deal. I think this was more of a general topic. Obviously, I think the opportunity that you see now, the tensions that you've seen with China, frankly, the necessity I believe that America has, and I think the administration, and while we're separate and distinct, agrees with, that we have to sort of decouple from just being purely dependent on China for everything from biotech to, essentially, AI chips, all of these things. I think that creates a great opportunity for those areas to do that. I know here, obviously, you have a fairly large biotech sector. These are opportunities that I think can create that net investment and dependency on people that are actually allies rather than enemies. And I think that's really important for the business of the future.
I see. So you see some real opportunities in specific sectors?
Correct. And not even sectors that I'm necessarily playing in. I just see that opportunity for so many other investors in America, from people, Hungary, America, to unite, to be able to, again, create a formidable front to not just be dependent on those who don't exactly love our values and our beliefs.
Great. And my last question, you're often referred as a son of the United States of President, but also the Crown Prince of MAGA, if you can see. What does label means to you, and are you helping to build the economic infrastructure of the Trump era politics? Can we see this behind all of your you're doing things?
Listen, I'm obviously very involved in the campaign. Once my father's inaugurated, I'm totally out of politics, but I think you actually need that coupling of the governments and then the private sector, right? The private sector is now what I focus on, it's what I do. My investments are about those that are benefiting sort of either America or those who are aligned and interested in us. That's what I spent my time focusing on. If a government has a policy that just says this, but the corporate entities and the private sector aren't aligned, that doesn't work. I think you need both of those things together to actually effectuate real change. We've seen that in America, right? The government could have been a Trump thing, but if the corporate interests are just woke nonsense, it doesn't work. When those interests are aligned, when those things are working together, even if they're separate and distinct, I think that's really important to move, to create the investment required, and to ultimately, the way I look at it is saving Western civilization, because I do think that's in grave threat right now.
I see. And my really last questions, how do you see these ideas impacting the everyday Americans?
Listen, I think it's so fundamentally important. I think we've become too dependent on those who don't like us, who don't share our values, who would throw us in the gulags, proverbially, if they could. To see the alignment between America and in Eastern Europe, I'd love to see that. I'm Eastern European, my mother's Czech, I speak the language fluently, I spent my summers there growing up, I waited in the bread lines in what was then communist Czechoslovakia. I understand the people, I understand the culture, and I think it meshes so well with what America really stands for right now. I'd love to see so much more of that than, again, being dependent and reliant on those who, in a time of crisis, in a time of strife, would not at all be with us even a little bit.
Thank you. That was a perfect final word. Thank you. And thank you for your time. And see you next time. I was Gergely Csiky.